And we are going to throw you right back into another show, actually. So we talked a little bit about Hasan Minhaj's The King's Jester. Of course, he has the show Patriot Act. We're going to switch things up, and we're going to give you something a little more down south. We're giving you Karm, Yuddh, which was on Hulu. And we're talking about this basically a family drama that was completely set in Kolkata. And we are following the lives of this like incredibly high profile family called the Roy family. So we have Bhisham Roy, and he's the head of Roy Industries, but he's paralyzed younger brother, Vardhan Roy, and his wife, Indrani Roy. They basically have this hope and this dream that they were one day going to like steal the company from the older brother. They're like, okay, we kind of want the same level of power. We kind of want the same status that comes along with owning Roy Industries. And we have Bisham's stepbrother, Guru Shastri, who brings in more complications into the Roy family. And while each of them want to essentially snatch power from each other, what extent they'll go to is what the entire series is about. Now, my two takes on this whole thing. So we basically have this concept of this complicated three brothers, especially one of them who doesn't really have like a voice, and he's completely controlled by his wife. So his wife is the mastermind behind his life, and because he's paralyzed, right? And so she makes all of these decisions, and she kind of pushes him to agree with her, at least like to some degree. They think with one mind as a couple. And then there's this stepbrother who nobody really believes he has a place in owning anything in this family, because he's not really one of them in general. But he's still like, oh no, I'm a part of this family. I still deserve some kind of power. And they're fighting over this concept of like, everyone believes that the oldest person in the family, or the oldest brother in the family, got the majority of the power and the status from Roy Industries because he was next in line to own it. And it's giving patriarchy to the max. It was giving crown successor to the max. It was giving kingdom vibes. Now, aside from that, we see a lot of like these little pieces that didn't really, I won't lie to you, didn't really connect super well with the story, but they kind of give you a backstory on like the motivation behind each of these characters. Like, for example, Indrani has a son who's Abhimanyu, and he is a complete sexual predator. So he's like constantly out here delivering these one-liners, and he's got this like aura about him where he thinks with his head, and then he thinks with his other head. And so you're trying to get an idea of like where all of these people fall into place when it comes to the story. And you're looking at like Abhimanyu, because he constantly has all these people that are attacking him. He's focused on like, is there anybody in my life that is really there to support me? And he's struggling. Like he struggles to have a lot of motivation behind like why he should be doing something. And so you'll see like he's got some best friends in there that like Summer, I think, and he surprisingly he's made her hunk hot list. Who is the actor for Summer? We call him the resident.
Pratori. That is our hunk hot list. That's a perennial hunk hot list. Whenever this guy has a show, we make sure we review it, but also he looks hot.
That's true. That too. So if you enjoy shows like Liz Gilly's Dynasty, you will definitely like this one. Now, are we going to lie to you? There is a lot of jam-packed motivation for these characters and like why they do what they do, packed into these small, like little 40-minute episodes that were like, we never fully get an idea of any one person because we're jumping from essentially like backstory to backstory. Not backstory, but like motivational clip to motivational clip. Like you learn a little bit more about each person, and in that they don't flesh out the story entirely. They like give you a little piece of it, and then like another character shows up in said arc of whatever, and they immediately like we're transitioning stories. So I feel like we never fully get an idea into these three brothers and like holistically get like the pieces of them that motivate them the most. So let's say there's traits and there's like personality characteristics and there's traits, right? We see a lot of little characteristics, but we never know what their solidified traits are.
But also, I think, Shreya, what really confused me about the plot was the lack of focus on the main story. Because there were these so many, subplots. There is the corporate sabotage. There are, dodgy corporations hiding money. There is the nationalite angle. There ill-fated romances,
the kids. Oh my God, the kids that weren't supposed to be there.
whoa, what the hell? And then that family power grabs and betrayals and conspiracies. And then there are these police investigators out of nowhere who are just digging around dirt on people, whose main motivation is to dig dirt. Literally, they don't have any job. And then, of course, the untrustworthy media personnel. Then, of course, a boardroom intrigue. And of course, every Indian show on the web has this mandatory same-sex romance. Oh,
how did I know? How did I know?
It's like a list, right?
How did I know? How did I know you were going to say that?
So yes, so all of these things put together really take your attention away from the main power grab plot, right? Because that's where all the conspiracies are happening.
Absolutely. If you guys did watch Madhuri Dixit's Fame Game, I want to compare the cinematography in this movie, the casting in this movie, the production quality in this movie to the Fame Game. So I personally love the Fame Game. I think that the production quality of that entire series is so good. I cannot wait for season 2. I definitely think
it's not coming with a season 2. That's been shelved.
Stop, really? They're not.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no, what those actors deserve so much more than what they got. For the Fame Game was a fantastic show. We did review it. If you want to go read it, it is on Bases.live. Feel free to read the entire review and leave us comments at the bottom. But if you liked things like that, if you like it wasn't a mystery in a sense, but like the way the modern take of shows or like that cinematography style, it follows that format very much so. And it was beautiful. It was still beautifully done. I want to say whoever the production team was, great job. Whoever the design team was, props to you. Y'all did not miss a beat in that entire intro. Y'all didn't miss a beat when it came to the outro. Y'all didn't miss a beat when it came to the posters. I love your design team personally. So shout out to all of them. And with that, speaking of Madhuri Dixit, we are going to give you more Madhuri Dixit with